welcome along to another episode of this FM21 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's part 127 today, and my word, this is a whopper. We faced Groningen away in the second leg of the Europa Conference first knockout round. We had a brilliant result at Ibrox, and we're trying to complete the job on the road. And then we host Celtic in a Scottish Cup quarter-final. We've been unfortunate to get this draw pretty early, but if we get through it, Hibs are probably the only side who can stop us. So that's an opportunity to win a trophy, which this club hasn't done for 3 years. But at the very least, we want to get through in Europe financially and stay at the top of the Scottish Premiership. So if you're looking forward to the rest of the episode, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from 2 long-term stories. It's been a big start to our Build a Nation with Bangor City, and you can catch up with yesterday's transfer special. That's up in the eye above. There's also a link there to the new food series and to the Twitch channel too, where you can follow for regular live streams from football and FM21. But today, we've got to reflect on what might have been a slight overreaction in the last episode. Of course, the goalkeeper situation was diabolical. I can't explain that. But we are in a pretty healthy position domestically, because Celtic, our arch rivals, have started dropping points galore. Now, they're also in a knockout round in Europe. They're facing Lille in the Europa League, and they won their home leg 2-1 in fairness. But they had a hangover from that, and they had a problem before it. They drew 2-2 away at Kilmarnock, lost 2-1 away at Motherwell, and we faced them 3 days after their Lille match. If we can knock them out of the Scottish Cup, and then maybe they drop points against Hibs, who are one of the other best sides in the league, this could be a real opportunity for us. We are still having those little problems with slight injury knocks, the wear and tear muscle injuries, but we are just about doing enough, and we're starting to look pretty convincing in front of goal as well. So fingers crossed that won't all go wrong today. We have collapsed on the road before this season, so I wouldn't rule it out just yet. Let's go and have a look at the transfers though, because there is one little bit of news. I don't really understand how it's helpful to us, but our director of football has brought in a goalkeeper in Callum Morgan. Now, can't be registered for the Scottish Premiership, can't be registered for Europe, so apart from a Scottish Cup final, if we get an injury, he can't do much. However, 1.5-star ability is a significant upgrade on our backup at the moment, and he's got an okay personality, so he might improve too. A weird signing, not really good enough, but at least it gives our goalkeeper someone to train with, if nothing else. So that was the signing that came in. Let's have a look at the schedule, because to be honest, we've been pretty faultless this month. We've been efficient, we've been solid at the back. I mean, we've got enough defenders to be that. Going forward, we've not got quite as much talent. We've had one of Di Francesco or Henderson injured at all points, but we are still getting those results. So you were with me for Celtic and Hibs, 2 brilliant wins on the road. We followed that up with a 2-0 win at Hearts in a Scottish Cup 5th round. We took the opportunity to put some reserves on the bench. David Smith and Jack Clyde came on. Peter Burns, the youngster, did too, as Griffith and Clyde, the sub, managed to get the goals to win it for us. We then, I do want to mitigate this, had 3 of the easiest fixtures on paper. We played at home to Ross County and Hamilton, who are by far the 2 worst teams in the league, and then at home to Dundee United, who are mid-table. So we have had a very easy spell. It's not like we've gone in and played all of the rivals. That's coming up in around a month's time. But we did get 3 wins. We beat Ross County 4-0, Henderson, Bull, and 2 from Peter Burns got the goals there. Peter Burns actually the best penalty taker at the club, something I didn't realise at 17. And he's also a brilliant youngster who's continuing to improve. We beat bottom side Hamilton 6-0. Di Francesco came back in after Henderson picked up a knock and got a hat-trick. Henderson had scored a penalty earlier on in the match, and also Peter Burns got another 2 there. I mean, he's been brilliant, really. 4 goals in 2 games. He's becoming far more than a right-back. Against Dundee United, it was Di Francesco again. Before against Groningen, he got another after Iman Griffith have opened the scoring early on, and Jaden Febriate scored in the second half. We have got a few injury problems, though, despite those coming back. So it's not all plain sailing just at the moment. If I show you the medical centre so you can see what I mean, Murray Reid will be missing this game and probably Sundays as well. We've also got Dean Greig just coming back from injury and Kieran Henderson not really ready to start. Morten Gerson back, but he's got a recurring injury. He's not quite at full fitness. He's some way off yet. And even Di Francesco not ready to play every single game and twice a week. Batista did have a slight knock. I'm not sure if he'll be alright for today. But let's go and find out. We might as well get into the 2 big games. That's exactly what we're here for. The good thing is, from the players that have been sold, most of the unhappiness has actually gone out of the dressing room. So you could argue it's been a bit of a blessing in disguise. but I would still have preferred to have a decent goalkeeper in. We'll see how Celtic get on, because for the rare occasion, we've probably got to support them in helping the Scottish coefficient. But if we win the Scottish Premiership this season, let me tell you now, we won't be hanging around. We'll be England manager only and we'll finish our club career, because this was the final job we had to do. So let's have a look at the lineup for today. I'm trying to balance injuries. I'm trying to balance which players are going to be fittest and which ones do we really need for the weekend. So Henderson and Hadji are back from injury. They're going to come in for Gertson and Di Francesco, who have been building their fitness. We're also going to take out Murray Reid, who's got the knock. Fevrier will stay in for him. And I've tried to take out a few with the heavier match load. I mean, it's not been easy because we've not got a huge amount of talent to choose from, particularly in those central areas. We're so short. If at the hour mark we're still 3 goals up, then of course Griffith, Batista and one of the centre mids can come off and have a rest. But for now, this is the strongest 11 I think I can name without harming our chances at the weekend and trying to reduce the risk of injuries too. So that means it's Masson in goal, of course, he's the only one at the club. Fevrier and Mwanga at fullback with Harwood Bellis alongside Finley Burns in defence. We've got Martinelli and Ball in the middle, Griffith and Hadji on the wings. And João Batista just passed his fitness test behind the returning Kieran Henderson up front. 34 goals between those two. Griffith's got 9 himself. So let's see what they can do today. We're hoping for a big performance on the road, or at least a very comfortable night. So Groningen, a fairly similar team to the first leg. They have got some good players. I mean, even on the bench, CJ Egan-Riley, someone we managed earlier in this career with Derby County. So we know they've got good players. We saw some of them when we got the draw initially around the Christmas mark. So let's go and see if we can get the better of them in this second leg. With 3-0 up on aggregate, we should be relatively happy. We're going to drop to a balanced mentality because we're on the road in Europe. We were positive in the home leg and we were able to take them apart and then just drop a little bit later on. So in this one, we're going to try and do that from the start. If we can hit them on the counter and keep possession well enough, it should be a good night for us. It still pains me seeing TNS in action against Slovan Liberec in the same round. Can't get anywhere near that in our Build a Nation series with Bangor City. But even so, let's see what happens here. As Groningen early on looking a threat, not even 5 minutes on the clock and they're ploughing men forward. As a switch out to the right hand side finds Van Leuven. He's got a man over on the overlap, instead gets into the box himself. Nobody makes the challenge. Thankfully, the keeper narrowed the angle and his shot went into the side netting. Because without that, it could have easily been 1-0 and panic stations from an early goal. As we've managed to get through the first quarter of the game pretty comfortably, it finds its way to Ball in centre midfield. Hadji is tackled, playing in that wide area today to give us the more natural width and just to protect Gertson more than anything. As Mwanga gives it away to him, Ball's not going to get there. They're going to be in again, Groningen. And this is what's happened so many times this season. We've had games where we've just made such avoidable mistakes. Masson has proved why he's a second choice keeper there. Not really good enough. Flappy wrist and it drops in off him. But De Vries gets the chance. I mean, let's be honest. That was all our own downfall. We gave the ball away on halfway in a 3-on-3 situation. And in not having a first choice keeper meant it was dropped into the net. There's not much we can blame our opposition for there. As Griffith picks it up on the right. An away goal would change everything. If we score tonight, Groningen need 5 to get through. Or to stop us getting through at least. As Fevrier delivers. Hadji's there. This could be the moment. Hadji shoots. Just wide of the far post. It was a great opportunity. But in truth, the defender had just closed the angle too much. No other goals in the first half an hour in any of the other 7 ties. That seems odd. With 10 minutes to the break, yes, it's 1-0. But on the night, we're relatively happy, I think. And we've reached the half-time whistle without any further damage. We've had most of the possession. We've had more of the shots. So I'm not going to go and twist just yet. I'm going to stick for now. But there is that school of thought to say, if you just go out and get a goal, it doesn't matter if they score 1 or 2. You'll know you're through. As Hong gives the ball back to Dawn. Whereas if they come and get a second here, we could be in real trouble. And then we're at the point where the pressure's on. As Van Leuven gives it back to De Vries, the goal scorer. Into his centre half. They're not in any rush, you can see. They're making sure they do it the right way. They're trying to build concerted attacks. And De Vries is coming over halfway with it. Out to Rossi on the left-hand side. Beats his man. Instead cuts back to De Vries though. Van Leuven picks it up. That wasn't far wide. The keeper was flying up to his right. I don't think he was getting there. And it remains 1-0. But Groningen are starting to give us a scare. Just a quarter of the game to go. Let's go a little more defensive. We're going to bring on Dean Greig on the right of midfield. He's going to drop with Hadji into the 4-1-4-1. We've seen this a few times before. And then I'm going to take off Batista, who had that injury scare in the last week, for Niall Ellis. He'll become a holding midfielder and he'll just sit in front of the back four. We've seen this a number of times too. Ball can then move up to a support duty. And then Fevrier at right back on a yellow, not had a good game. Let's get young Peter Burns on. I think that's the best we can do in this stage. We put Mwanga out there. Is he left or right footed? Both. So let's do that then. Iriarte on, Mwanga to right back. Iriarte plays left back. 20 minutes to hold on. Hopefully there'll be no scares. We must be an early kickoff because 3 minutes to go. There can't be 7-0 nils after 87 minutes next to us. They just must not have kicked off. Maybe we're playing the 5:45 game. As Vandenberg picks it up, we don't want a grandstand finish here. Mwanga's been turned inside out. Holm delivers. Good save by Masson. Not done a lot for us since being in this role. Of course, not the strongest keeper, not the best shot stopper. But he was in the right place there and he did the trick. And to be fair, he's been better than I expected so far. As ball gets it wide to the right, it's under hit again. As a man over on the right, he can play short. Instead gives it to his centre-half, Harwood Bellis. At this point, we'll accept just playing long and keeping possession. As Henderson gets the ball, flicks it on. De Jong's going to get there first. Back to his keeper. It's cleared away to De Vries. Doesn't look like his goal's going to be enough at the moment. Groningen fighting in vain. Of course, it doesn't help the coefficient that we've lost on the night, but getting through is all that matters to us. As ball gives it to Martinau. We might not have lost on the night yet. Henderson back to Ellis. Chips it wide to Hadji. 2 in the box. It's back to the edge. Martinau's there. And if ever we were in doubt, Damian Martinau has made exactly sure of the result here. A fabulous strike from the edge of the box to make it 1-1 on the night. The away goal crucial. Groningen can't get 5. And equally, we get a result in both of the 2 legs now. A fabulous performance. A few players rested, ready for the weekend against Celtic. And now, if we can get through in the Scottish Cup too, I'll almost be euphoric compared to the last episode. Let's go and see if we can do it. Well, euphoria never lasts long in football. After beating Groningen over 2 legs in the Europa Conference, just 3 days later, we're back to face Celtic, the old foe, in the Scottish Cup quarter-final. What's ironic is if we get through that, in a semi-final, we'll face either Hibs or Queen's Park. So presuming Hibs win, we'll actually then end up having our weakest of the 3 games in the final if we manage to get there. So that's a very odd situation, and it'll be the same for whoever gets there out of us 2. But equally, we've got to go and have a look at the Europa Conference draw, because that was a bit of a weird one as well. Famalicão, the Portuguese league side, they're 4th there at the moment. A bit like Lexois, who we played in the group stages in the Europa League. They're just a really good team. I mean, their key player is an Englishman who is a centre midfielder who's very high quality. He's actually someone who's popped up occasionally in our England scout reports. Has played for Liverpool. He's a very good footballer. So I think they're going to be a pretty formidable test. I mean, if we go and have a look at the players' ratings and values, I mean, they've got players worth £25 million. Their skipper is an Argentine international. Tristan Davis, a Welshman, 20 years of age, an official wonder kid. Let's not be fooled. This is an exceptional team we're coming up against. Got a fair few English players in there as well. Seems a little bit bizarre. Is that João Pedro, the old Watford one? I think it is. Yep, it is. He's a very good player too. This is going to be difficult. We're going to cross our fingers for everything. But for now, we can't worry about that. We face Celtic in the quarter-final of the Scottish Cup. We've got home advantage at Ibrox, but we have still got those injury troubles too. And although Celtic have had a bad spell, they did get through on Thursday night against Lille and won away from home as well. And we've got injuries. So let's see what's the best side we can put out today. We'll be back in a moment to go through the 11. Okay, so Murray Reid not quite fit yet. We've got to have 2 keepers in the squad. So Morgan is going to make his first appearance in the matchday squad. Aside from that though, I think we're going to have to go as strong as possible. We're going to take out Hadji as the left winger. Iriarte and Greg are available if we need them to come on. We've also dropped out Batista, who really struggled after injury on Thursday. With Di Francesco and Henderson both fit, I feel like we can rotate that a little bit. The rest of the squad will stay the same, so I think the only changes are Gertsen in for Hadji, and then also Di Francesco in for Batista, with Griffith going to the Mazzala and Martinau up to the number 10. So not too much complication. They're the subs we've made. Let's go and see how it pans out on the day. Rangers v Celtic at Ibrox for a place in the Scottish Cup semi-final. The Celtic side, a little bit different today. Maybe they're resting a couple too, because the likes of Gargo are on the bench. Nathan Ferguson always started every game against us before, but still a strong side. Branthwaite, Bentil, Illich, Sergio Luiz. It's a good team. It's going to be a close game. I just hope the goalkeeper doesn't make the difference. We saw that he let in a silly one on Thursday night. He's not quite that same standard. Hopefully, we can just put in a positive display. That's all I'm asking for at this point. We'll start positive. We might drop balanced if we need to. But so far, been a pretty quiet game. Well, nearly half an hour gone. Absolutely nothing in it. Celtic had one on target right at the start. We hadn't had any until that moment there. What a goal from Kieran Henderson. Big punted free kick into the box by Ball. Looking tired already, by the way. And Henderson is there to volley in. Back from injury just in time. And it will definitely be Hibs if we get through to the semis, as they're destroying Queen's Park at the moment. What a first half, though. It's been a very quiet one. We're going to drop to a balanced mentality, because Celtic have had the better of the possession and of the shots. But I don't think the Rangers fans will care if we put 10 behind the ball. If we win 1-0 to get through, and if we win a trophy after 3 years without and stop Celtic getting one, I don't think anyone will be complaining. As Branthwaite takes a short free kick to Illich, let's not get too excited yet. Remember the first Old Firm of the season. 1-0 up at half-time, lost 5-1. The cross is blocked this time though. We did hang on in the second one as Martinelli goes long. Big ball over the top. Henderson will chase. Got the legs to get there. That's why we've played him through the middle. And that has got to be a penalty. Right, let's think here. Let's think very carefully. Fevrier's had a poor game. I can bring Peter Burns on, make him penalty taker, and get him in for this. Di Francesco is the next best at the club though, so he might be alright for this. If it had been Henderson, I'd have been worried. But let's leave it. Di Francesco with a chance to make it 2. Please don't miss. Please don't miss. We've missed one against Celtic already this season. That was Fangero, the old keeper. Oh, it's gone in. I so thought that had been saved. It was a terrible penalty. It was feeble. It was the right height for the keeper. But David, he's got to carry in a knock, and you can see it's affected him there. He's almost palmed it into the net. 2 shots on target, 2 goals for Rangers. The perfect ruthless display in the derby. And at the hour mark, we couldn't ask for much more. We've got Gertsen just coming back from injury on the left wing, so he's going to be replaced now just to give him a break. Iriarty will be the man that comes on, just a standard winger on support. We're also in midfield going to replace Ball, who's knackered, who's been playing football galore. He's going to be replaced by Batista. He'll go number 10 with Martin out in a deep line playmaker role. Not really sure what difference it makes, to be honest. Who's better defensively? Martinel's okay marking. Batista, not so much. So we'll stick Martinel in the deeper role. And we'll leave the last sub-10 more. But at the moment, it looks like it might be Fevrier. As it's a Celtic throw on the right. We've not seen much from them today. Iriarty heads the throwaway and now he can break. Martinelli up to Henderson. Down for Batista the sub. Henderson's running off him again. Batista going alone here. It's a brilliant run. Gets to the edge of the box. And that is absolutely magical. João Batista, with an hour's rest, comes on with fresh legs. And he has just run through the Celtic team and put an absolute beauty into the top corner. No goalkeeper in the world is saving that one. I'm a very happy boy. Let's go and make a quick substitution. Martinelli is shattered. So now Batista will drop into that centre midfield role. Martinelli will be replaced by Ellis. He's going to drop in as a deep line midfielder. He's just going to sit in front of that 4 and we'll go to the traditional 4-3-3. So defensive midfielder on defend for him. Deep line playmaker on support for Batista. And what's that? 21 minutes plus stoppage time. But with 3-0 up, Celtic are struggling at the right point of the season. And if we can just get a couple more ahead in the league, I'll fancy us maybe to win a double. As Batista puts a corner in, Branthwaite misses it. Henderson puts in for 4. Oh, we're in dreamland. We are destroying Celtic. And this could be so big mentally. It could be so big morale-wise. And in terms of getting the fans on side for the late stages of the season and the run-in, this could be absolutely crucial. Iriarty gets it on the left-hand side again. It's a poor ball out. Henderson's in for a hat-trick. It's 5. What have we done to this Rangers side? Do you know what? I might have to apologise to the director of football. The goalkeeper situation still irks me, but the rest of it, he's largely got rid of the people that were complaining in the dressing room. Bowman was one of them. I know that Smallgold did it occasionally. And to be fair, where he's done that, he's made a difference because this is now a tight-knit group. They're getting used to each other. The players that have come in are versatile. They like moving around. And João Batista. Oh, who thought an hour's rest could do this? He has put 2 in the postage stamp in that last half an hour. Goalkeeper, no chance. It's 6-0. Surely no matter what happens now, we're a Rangers fan favourite just for this day on its own. Branthwaite's shots blocked brilliantly by Harwood Bellis. Of course, they were a combination of centre-half for me at Cliftonville last year. But my word, what a day at the office for Rangers Football Club. Batista nicks it again, Henderson's there. We're in the last minute of stoppage time and he's on a run again. Could he make it 7? Surely not. Henderson in. Good save by the keeper. Iriarty can't get there for the rebound. But what a day at the office. We get the result away at Groningen into the last 16 in Europe. And then we beat our rivals in a Scottish Cup quarter-final 6-0. We've got a 6-point lead at the top of the title race as well because they're throwing away points in recent weeks. This is starting to look very good. And the only thing that can stop us now realistically is if we have another spell with 4, 5 or 6 injuries. Because we can't cope with that. But at the moment, fabulous. What a performance. What a result. Ruthless, clinical, perfect. Let's go and have a look at the schedule. Hibs completed their job, so we will be facing them in a semi-final of the Scottish Cup. A hat-trick for Kieran Henderson, who is back to fitness and in sublime form. We've obviously got the Europa Conference, but I don't know that that's our priority now. Of the 3 competitions, I think it's the least important. So what I might do now is come back for the Hibs doubleheader at the start of April. We'll have had a youth intake, we should still be in the title race, and realistically, Hibs are the 3rd best team in the league. And we're facing them in a Scottish Cup semi too. So I'm going to leave Europe unless we get through and get a massive side in a quarter-final. And we will be back for the Hibs doubleheader, the last club we managed in Scotland. And we need them to remember us fondly and do a wonderful favour for us next time. If you did enjoy this episode, please do chuck a thumbs up on it. Let me know down in the comments how on earth that happened against Celtic. I mean, that one away at Groningen where the keeper dropped it in is the only goal we conceded in that month. And that over 8 games is pretty impressive. We've looked really good, we've looked solid, we've looked ruthless in front of goal and we've looked efficient. I cannot ask for much more from these boys, but I know we're only 1 goalkeeper injury or 1 mini injury crisis away from having a proper full-blown disaster again. That's the life as a head coach. If you want to stay up to date and find out if we can end the hoodoo for Rangers in terms of trophies, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. There's links to some of the key playlists up in the eye above, as well as the new series over on my food channel and the Twitch channel. They're all up there too. So please do go and follow and subscribe as appropriate to stay up to date with all of that content. But a massive thank you for watching, your continued support as always. We're not going to top that for an episode, are we? I'll see you next time.